you haven't already, go check out Turkey Tom. He's a great content creator. He does really good documentaries. I want to dive into his new video, Hassan Piker, Criticism.
A terrible tragedy took place on October 7th. No, not that one. During one of Hassan Piker's stream rants about how America is worse than the third world, which doesn't really narrow it down that much, his dog, Kaya, dared to briefly move outside of the frame. An unforgivable offense in Hassanistan. Quickly, he took action.
Just just stop.
Or
I don't know if you guys saw this video of Hassan, but the fact that he shocked his dog on stream because he's trying to use his dog as a decoration for his stream is mental. Absolutely mental.
At least in the opinion of the public, he did. By shocking Kaya via an off-screen remote control with her shock collar. I'll play the clip in its entirety so we can actually get the context of what's going on.
I hate this country so much. You can be on a mountain in the middle of Norway and get better internet than Los Angeles, California. And
honest to God, I think Hassan should leave the country, in my opinion. Like, literally, if you're this unhappy of our country, this guy is, I don't like Hassan. I'm gonna be real, I don't like Hassan. He's not, I don't like his content, I don't like what he does, and I don't think he deserves to have a platform, in my opinion. So, like I said, this is a good video to watch because fuck Hassan, chat. Literally, fuck Hassan.
this is just like a moment of anger. This is a moment of anger for like something that is just so routine, so silly, such a first world problem. But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential violence. Okay? It's the same reason as to why America, Kaya, please just just stop.
What you said. This guy is the same guy who said that America deserves a second 9/11. Like he's promoted known terrorists on his platform on Twitch. He's not somebody that should have he shouldn't have a platform in my.
Jesus Christ! What?
Now he's stalking his dog, and the fact that they're going to try to let this blow over, we don't want to let this blow over, so we're going to bring it back into the light because we have to.
You're being such a baby.
Interestingly enough, even Hassan's own chat immediately responds to this incident by telling Hassan to free Kaya and let her roam, and adding that he shouldn't be crashing out over his internet issues in the first place, as it could have stressed the dog out. Now, before I get into the meat and potatoes of what actually happened here, I think one really underrated aspect of this video is that him having internet issues somehow led to him talking about America's violence. If Kaya was reacting to what we think she was reacting to, I think he was contributing his 2 cents to the violence he was talking about. She is clearly wearing a collar, and Hassan clearly reaches out to something to his left and actually looks at his monitor where his video feedback allowed him to see Kaya's reaction, right before he allegedly gave her the Green Mile special. Then, perhaps...
Yes, we're watching the Hassan Piker. So Turkey Tom came out with a video basically slaughtering Hassan Piker in his documentary. It's a hit piece on Hassan Piker, and we're going to be watching it. Hello, welcome to the stream, Darth. Lisa, I don't think Hassan deserves a platform. The only reason I think that he still has a platform is because our lovely CEO of Twitch is a useless piece of shit. And instead of deplatforming people that are problematic on Twitch, he follows from the mouth, and he blows this guy. He's like, the CEO blows this guy 100%. Like, this guy is like, does not deserve a platform. On any other platform, if he was on it and they did this, he'd be out of here,
He realizes
right?
what he just did on stream and stares at her for a few seconds, seeming dumbfounded as to why she would react like that. But despite his little stare here, he wasn't concerned enough to go over and check on her to see if she's got something like a shard of glass stuck in her paw, almost as if he knows what caused her to make that noise.
Just stop.
Right after, he calls her a big baby and complains about how she's been spoiled and how she was allowed to roam the house while he was gone. Now listen.
Look here! Look! Listen!
I'm no dog specialist, but I'm pretty sure dogs, especially of that size, aren't supposed to just be kept stationary on one bed for multiple hours. I'm pretty sure.
Dan Clancy, yes, fucking Dan Clancy needs to step down. Listen, If you have stock in Amazon, sell it now. Your stock is dying. Sell your stock now in Amazon, because if you don't sell your stock, Amazon owns Twitch, right? Amazon owns Twitch. If you have stock in Amazon, you have stock in Twitch. Sell your stock now, because in the next few weeks, your stock is going to go down. So sell it now.
Sure, they're
while it's
supposed
still
to be able
high.
to roam freely, even if it is within a confined space. Unsurprisingly, due to how bad this situation looked for Hassan, and given the fact that he has an army of pre-existing haters ready to pounce on him for absolutely anything, this clip made the rounds on Reddit and Twitter, stacking up tens of millions of views. On Twitter, the clips have been kept up with no issue, while the same cannot be said about Reddit, where many prominent posts about the incident
I'm fully swapped to YouTube. Listen, if I'm multi-streaming on YouTube, I'm streaming on YouTube with the platform, so you can watch me like this. You can also watch it on mobile as well. If you're watching on a mobile device, you can watch it in the portrait form as well.
have since been taken down. Now, before I get into the specific reactions from members of the community, I think it's important to present further information so that you're as informed as possible before coming to a conclusion. Although I'm sure for many of you that first clip is more than enough for you to make up your mind.
Stop.
On the same
Amazon
stream,
stocks,
but before the
exactly.
incident happened, this prelude took place.
Commemorative mug I got from England. Commemorative mug I got from England.
As we can see here, Kaya is not even trying to leave. She's just laying down. When, for reasons that I can't really understand, Hassan once again reaches to his left while staring intently at his monitor, and she instantly gets up and settles herself on the bed, and he resumes talking. It's also worth remembering that after reaching to this unknown object, he doesn't pull anything out. So it's not like he's picking up his drink or his sandwich. He reaches out and then comes back with nothing in his hands. Further analysis of this particular VOD shows that Kaya had already been sat there at that same exact spot for the previous 2 whole hours, and then proceeded to stay there for the next 2 hours as well. Once
The fact that Hassan uses his dog as a fucking decoration for his background is absolutely mental. At least do like a green screen or something. Come on, man. Like, I don't know. I think that it's disgusting that he's allowed to, like, I think it's disgusting that he thinks it's okay to treat an animal like that. Like, if you want to have a dog, you need to take care of your dog. That's not taking care of your dog.
again, I'm not someone with explicit expert knowledge or authority on the subject, but from doing a little bit of cursory research online, I don't think that any dog, let alone a Tibetan Mastiff, should be kept in the same exact spot for 4 hours. As far as I know, there is one more clip of this exact same dynamic taking place down to a T, although this time, Hassan didn't forget to mute his microphone, so nothing is heard coming from his mic.
PETA would have a field day with this man. I don't know if PETA said anything. I think PETA probably said something on Twitter about this. I'm not 100% sure. I got 500 on Amazon stocks. I take them out, or should I take them out, or is it too late? I would recommend investing in. Okay, I'm not going to give you any advice because I'm not a professional on stocks and trades, but I have stock in Nvidia graphics cards, and that is gone up 800% from what the stock that I had in it. I got free stock for Nvidia, and it's gone up 800%. So I mean, might be worth putting some money into Nvidia. Just saying.
Trump was potentially going to use to potentially put pressure on Jordan's king to try and take in more Palestinians, correct? I mean, that's what we've heard from Trump over the course of the past few weeks.
For those of you who are familiar, Hassan's dog is a female Tibetan Mastiff, which happens to be one of the most expensive dog breeds in the world, which Hassan happened to organically adopt with no idea that that was the case. And then it just naturally got reported on by Dixerdo. Now, the thing about this breed is they can grow to such a large size that they can, as some people on Reddit put it, rival the size of some bears. The average weight for an adult female Tibetan Mastiff is anywhere between 70 to 120 pounds. As a matter of fact, the
That's a big fucking dog, chat.
video
That's a
about
huge
Tibetan
dog.
Mastiffs that led Hassan to find out for the first time how expensive they are literally had a guy talk about how gigantic these little guys can get.
One good look at these majorly imposing dogs makes it easy to understand why they are the most expensive dog breed in the world.
Unsurprisingly, there are multiple documented instances of Kaya trying to leave her dungeon.
Sorry, Kaya is like crawling towards the door. Stop.
Her crawled to the door. Apparently they did respond. They went softball on him, according to some sources. Well, that's insane. Well, that's absolutely insane. You'd think that Peter would say something else. You know, he'd probably, because of how big Hassan is. I'm not surprised that Peter didn't like go all out and ream on him, because he is a big content creator. Like, I don't think that Hassan would watch any of my content. But I do think that if Hassan is watching, you are a terrible person. Consider stepping down. Consider stopping. Consider getting a better job than content creation.
Oh my god, you're so annoying. Here, okay, come. That's crazy. She's like pawing at the gate while I'm waiting for. Oh god, I'm gonna actually let Kai out because I can't stand her being in the back.
Let her out. Your dog.
And like and wanting attention as well. Go. Oh my god, she's so. Oh my god, I'm so annoyed with everything.
But still, her clear discomfort with being stationary for that long doesn't change Hassan's East Germany style border policy.
Kaya, place.
Grabs the thing.
Get back there. What is this? Depending on how.
But
It's insane that he's trained the dog to lay there because
we can go
it's
well
afraid.
beyond just the clips of Kaya being uncomfortable and trying to leave, as there's some clips in which Hassan himself is acknowledging her circumstances and describing it as if it were a good thing.
She has a leash on right now on the elevated bed, so she can't like really get off of it. She now knows to sit in place for hours and hours on end.
There's even one video in which Hassan is talking to some other people who are talking about his dog training, where Kaya's name is brought up in the same breath as training that involves the use of shock collars.
I have the best trainer in San Diego.
Oh yeah.
His name is Pat. Do you send him for
You train my dog too.
And my dog.
Brian.
You send him for 2 weeks? 2 or 3 weeks. You have to, bro.
What does he get trained to do?
To everything. Shock on. Strong
He'll get-
shock collar.
He'll get training to like basically be off collar. Like you don't need to ever You don't need to ever have a leash on him.
Now, I don't want to jump to conclusions here, but it sounds like this guy on the left is talking about some dog trainer named Pat who uses shock collars, whom Hassan immediately recognizes and says he trained my dog too. Later on, both this guy and Hassan mention Kaya specifically, clarifying that it's not some other dog that underwent this training. What's most concerning, however, is that at this point, Kaya was still just a puppy. Hassan sisters, we got too cocky. It may be over for us. Of course, this could mean that this usage of shock collars only took place once during this training, and Hassan never did it again. However, there are some reasons to suspect Hassan's history with dog training is kind of spotty. For example, there's an old clip from 6 years ago in which Hassan yanks another dog of his by the tail, which is
What the actual fuck? I didn't know about that clip.
commonly accepted as something that you should not do because the tail is actually part of the dog's spine, and thus you can cause them a lot of pain by doing that. In this same clip, he also threatens to kill the dog, but this was obviously just a joke, and it wasn't something he was saying super seriously or genuinely, so I don't think that should be taken into consideration. But going back a whole 8 years, we get this Facebook post in which Hassan is posing with his dog for a photo, where the dog is wearing a leash with internal prongs. Even back here, the comments are full of people criticizing this, saying that it's an unnecessarily cruel way to leash train a dog. It's also worth noting he mentions in the caption of the post that this dog is a rescue, which is part of the greater phenomenon of not just Hassan, but also a whole community of people who go out of their way to mention that their dog is a rescue or that the dog is adopted so that they look like a kinder person. Don't get me wrong, I'm not some rigorous
I'm gonna be real. I don't think that I'm gonna be real. I don't think Hassan it should be a pet owner. I think that he should consider not being a pet owner. That leash on the last dog was way too tight. I agree. I don't know if you saw the video. Hold on. Let me rewind here. If you look on the video of his dog, like from here, look at this spot right here.
And it
Does that
wasn't
not look like a cut or something right here? Like, what is this? What is this?
thing he was saying. But go his dog for a full of people where the dog is wearing a
I do, like, I don't know. I think spikes are, like, it would be different if the spikes are on the outside, but these spikes are literally on the
Leash
inside
with
of the dog.
internal prongs. Even back here, the comments are full of people criticizing this, saying that it's an unnecessarily cruel way to leash train a dog. It's also worth noting he mentions in the caption, but also dog is
Hold on.
adopted.
Let me fast forward back here. I don't know. I feel like this is wrong. Like, this is animal cruelty. And like, in some form, this is animal cruelty. I don't know how, like, I don't know what the prongs on the inside do for leash training. I'm not a dog professional, but I don't think that, like, I've had several dogs in my life. I've never put a chain leash on my dog like this. I never, like,
So that they look like a
No, I've
kinder
never done that.
person.
That's
Don't get me
fucked
wrong,
up.
I'm not some rigorous animal rights activist who holds people to high ethical standards of animal treatment, okay?
I also eat burgers.
But I do get peeved whenever someone refers to their animal as a rescue in such a gratuitous way. Besides the instance where Hassan talks about Pat, it seems that it's especially hard for him to keep up appearances whenever he's in an extraordinary situation, like when he's interacting with other people who, unlike Chat, can't be ignored whenever convenient. For example, there's this moment.
I think her collar's too tight.
Well, it's here we get.
It's you have to be able to get 2 fingers, and I couldn't even get 1. I think
this other person behind him is like, you gotta have 2 fingers. I think I remember the 2 fingers thing. You have to make sure you can fit 2 fingers in. The dog's probably being choked out right now. Doing these things to animals is one of the first signs of a psychopath.
you're choking.
I don't know. I don't think he's a psychopath. Maybe a narcissist, or maybe he's definitely a narcissist. If you're a streamer, you're a narcissist. Like, that's just how it is. But like, I think that he might be what is the other one? A sociopath? He might be a sociopath.
It's a lot of neck meat.
While the woman here doesn't mention anything regarding a shock function on the collar, which I assume she'd just have no reason to suspect anyway, when she mentions that the collar is too tight, Hassan prepares to answer her, saying, well, it's before stopping himself. As people theorized, it could be that he'd rather just loosen the collar than to explain what the collar was, a shock collar. It's very odd how secretive and cagey he seems to be, not just about the collar, but also whenever the collar has to be interacted with in any way. One of
It was 3 fingers. I mean, it might be even 3 fingers. I mean, as long as you have, like, the fact that she couldn't fit any of her fingers into that dog's collar, that's a sign that she's probably choking that dog out. But it's also, she's probably wearing
these
a shock
oddities
collar,
surrounds
so, I
the
mean, it
remote
probably
for
has
the
to be tied
electronic
to
collar,
shock,
which
but I
he
don't know how
seems
that works.
concerned with keeping out of frame whenever he's streaming. There are some clips in which it's dubious what exactly he's holding on to or fidgeting around with, but there are also others where he's basically caught red-handed.
What is that? Is that the shock collar controller?
I wonder what that device on his desk he moves just out of camera is for. Surely it's not what we're thinking, as Hassan clarifies what he's actually reaching for whenever he stretches his hand out to his left.
What were you reaching for in the clip? What do you think?
Now, I'm gonna say right now, although I am a specialist in almost none of the things that I talk about on this channel,
Is that dog safe now? No, the dog is not safe now. I'm gonna be real, chat. The dog is not safe now, and that's the most frustrating thing about all of this. Somebody needs to go and take that dog away from him. I know this sounds terrible, but imagine the yelps and cries that dog must make when he puts
I
the
actually
collar on.
am a specialist on the tactical deployment of Zins.
Yes. And Turkey Tom is known for using Zens.
Now, the thing about these little guys is you actually have to pick up the can first, then you have to take it and open it like so. And then, once you have it open, you actually have to take one of them, okay, one of these Zins, one of the upper deckies, so to speak, and you have to take it and insert it into your mouth.
Like that.
Unless Hassan has hands like Don Lickles from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, in neither of the clips where he most clearly reaches out to that direction before Kaya jumps back onto her bed does he consume a Zin. But
Exactly. He doesn't.
There are
like,
some other
okay.
potential factors that many have brought up as things that could exonerate Hassan from the dog-shocking allegations, at least as they pertain to the main incident which set this whole thing off. One of them is the claim that on the day the fateful clip of Kaya yelping was caught on stream, the usual electronic box with a blinking green light was not visible on her collar. The thing is, in the images provided here on the right side, the whole collar is rotated to the other side of Kaya's neck, so the box is underneath the white circular shape. On the left side, due to it being rotated to the other side of the neck, the box would then be above the white circular shape, and it's clearly covered in fur. Additionally, the green light would only be visible by seeing underneath the box, which is not possible from this angle. But even if the Zen explanation and the no box and no green light theory were both proven to be true, this only accounts for the specific day in which the main incident happened. But the problem is, as I showed earlier, there were multiple clips of Hassan doing this. Did this specific sequence of movements just coincidentally take place in every single instance? Or could it be that there's a pattern that the public is noticing? A pattern of negligent or even sadistic treatment of Kaya under the guise of training. At the
That dog's face. And tell me that the dog is not miserable.
very least, even if none of these things turn out to be true, people do have a reason to be concerned, as Hassan is on record saying some pretty questionable things about Kaya while on stream.
Are you on VR at the moment? No,
And I'm actually
not.
going to get a little bit more serious for a moment here. If you're very sensitive to situations involving animals, no joke, this is a trigger warning as it's actually a little bit disturbing.
I don't know if putting them in a confined space like this together is a good idea, but we're about to see very quickly. She will most likely recognize, she will very quickly learn that that's probably a mistake. Because if she keeps pushing Fiona, Fiona is going to bite.
I'm going to put both my dogs in a little cage that's literally, look how small that cage is. Look how small that cage is. I will put these dogs in this cage and see, and I'm gonna stream dog fighting live to you on Twitch.
Oh, there we go. Good job, Fiona. You tell her. One thing I will tell you, I've seen her. Kaya is really funny when she's scared. Being scared, but it gives me anxiety. Maybe it's me. No, I want her to bite her.
That's fucked up. And there's like these clips to come to light now, and it's over already. You know, the drama's over already. It's going to just blow over like every other shit that happens with Hassan. I don't understand how people can like be avid followers of Hassan. I'm gonna be real.
What do you mean? That they had to chop it?
What the fuck?
She needs to learn.
That's
See?
not something to laugh about. You need to separate them.
See? She wants out.
Why does his laugh sound like... Hold on. Why is his laugh the Windex bottle? He's laughing and this is what I see. This is what I see when he's laughing.
She needs to learn. See? See? She wants out.
The wind, children.
Did you see that?
Oh, yes.
I want you guys to see what happens when she actually gets scared. It's so funny.
Now remember, all of these clips organically erupted in the wake of the first incident, and none of them were the product of a concerted effort to selectively edit and decontextualize footage to make Hassan look bad. There were and are still fans of Hassan
Wow. Marcio, thank you so much for the follow, by
who
the
have
way.
also
Appreciate
taken him
that.
to task for this. So this is no gratuitous witch hunt for political reasons or some kind of personal thing against Hassan. Even I can't deny, many of the people who latched onto this already didn't like him. Within one day of it, streamer XQC took on the mantle of Detective Toenail to analyze Hassan's VOD frame by frame, coming to much of the same conclusions I've already gone over. A day later, Moist Critical joined in and signal boosted awareness of this situation to the masses, as if this wasn't enough of a hot topic already.
He kind of downplayed it and shrugged it off as like a bunch of bad.
I'm gonna be real, I love Charlie. He's funny as fuck. Every time I see Moist Critical, I always think of you want to see my clips? You want to see my clips? And then he pulls up a gun and is like, that's a fucking magazine. He's the funniest shit guy. He's funny as fuck. I really like
actors attack me for
Charlie. He's
phony
funny.
baloney barnacles here, you know, unbelievable. This is all a load of fish paste.
Of course, to Hassan loyalists, this became a reason to accuse XQC and Charlie of being pro-Israel. Now, if you think I'm being hyperbolic, you're simply unfamiliar with the Hassan Phantoms game. That is how they roll.
Drama. Yeah. The sneak-out drama.
And it goes all the way
Yes!
to the top. In response to the controversy, Hassan posted a story to his Instagram, which read, "She has no idea she's been the most famous dog on the internet for the past 2 days because of a coordinated far-right / pro-Israel slander campaign." Now,
Pisses me off. I mean, listen, I don't give a fuck about Israel. I could care less what's going on in the Middle East. I'm a proud American. Listen, unlike Hassan Piker, who doesn't belong in our country and as a whole, I am a proud, red-blooded American at the end of the day. I don't give a fuck what's going on in the Middle East because that's not my country. I don't live in Israel. I live in America. I think that if you're somebody who thinks that America deserves a second 9/11, that's terrorist speech. I get like the whole 1983 or 1980 whatever by 1982 thing where all like negative thoughts you got to go to jail kind of stuff like that. I'm against that. But if you're saying that America deserves a second 9/11, you need to be locked up because those kinds of people don't belong in our country. That's like traitor talk. You need to get out of our country.
the thing about this is you can rest easy knowing that a significant amount, if not the crushing majority of people browsing r/livestream fails and making fun of streamers could not care less about Israel or the war. They just hate streamers. However, that doesn't seem to compute for Hassan and people like him, who can only think in these terms. Regarding Charlie's video, Hassan himself had this to say.
He put a stake on this, okay? He was like, oh, enough people shit on him. It's good enough. It's like, it's obviously, no matter how made up a narrative it is, if a clip looks bad enough, then he will go with it. And he will just use these guys. All these guys do is basically farm Reddit for talking points. And Reddit can so easily be botted and manipulated. And I don't think
My country, not yours. Exactly. My country, not yours. I don't know, man. I don't really talk about politics on stream. I have a podcast for that. Fully for fake propaganda. I mean, listen, I'm not pro-Israel. I'm not pro whatever Israel's against. He also encourages audiences to harass VTubers. I didn't know that. So I'm glad that I'm uncovering him today. I didn't know that Hassan encourages people to harass VTubers. That's fucking bullshit too. Listen, I'm a VTuber. I've already sent this. I said this on the last stream. I mean, I am a VTuber. I do a little bit of IRL content, but at the end of the day, the job that I do for like outside of work, I don't want my coworkers to know what I do. I don't want them to like see me. I don't want to lose my job over doing something that I enjoy as a hobby. That at the end of the day, this is a hobby. I make a little bit of money off of this. This is not a job for me. This is something I get up, I go to work, and I come home, and this is how I decompress. I'm like, this is how I decompress. I come on stream and I talk to you guys, and then I like decompress to my workplace. You know, instead of having a ice cold beer or like screaming into my phone and staring at TikTok, I make content and talk to you guys.
We're
on
ever
stream,
gonna get ahead of that. There's just nothing we can do. Bro, he said you're abusing Kyle. Like, no way. Yeah, I mean, if he thinks that he can suck my dick. I mean, it took him 2 years to come out and be like, yeah, the genocide is happening and it's really bad, actually.
Can any single thing on earth not get turned into a purity test regarding Israel for these people?
Is Hassan a Jewish person? Israel's Jewish, right? I don't know. Listen, I'm a dumb American, so I'm not 100% sure if Israel is he made a tweet comparing Armas going to Capitol Hill to lobby for her charity to the January 6th rise. That's bullshit. Listen, Armas is like, she's got a charity. She wants to find a cure for her autoimmune deficiency problem, right? She's got some sort of disease that causes her autoimmune basically she has to live in a bubble for the rest of her life, right? Like her entire life, she is stuck in a room in a bubble, right? So like that's not January 6th riots. Also, the January 6th riots, all the people that got out of those, I'm not going to deep dive into that. He's from Turkey. Okay. Listen, I don't know anything about Israel. I know that I think Israel's the Jewish people. I'm not 100% sure on that. I know that, Israel is where they talk about how, like, if we deep dive into Israel, the only thing I really know about it is that's where, when the apocalypse comes and all of the people go back to their city or something. I think there's something in the Bible that says that everyone's going to go back to Israel. That's the only thing I really know about Israel. I know that, and then I know about the Mossad. I watch NCIS. I've watched NCIS. I know about the Mossad agents. I don't know anything else besides that. I'm a dumb American. I'm okay admitting that I'm a dumb American because I don't know shit, right? Feel free to inform me on this shit, because if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Let me know. Like, I will note for my mistakes. Hassan, on the other hand, is a narcissist, and he's not going to own up to the mistakes that he does. He's just going to let that drama is just going to blow over, and he's going to continue.
It's actually unbelievable to see. Meanwhile, Hassan's editor, again, this isn't just a random fans thing. This behavior comes from the top of the Hassan industrial complex, actually accused XQC of being Quebecois Epstein. The evidence provided is a picture of XQC with Dr. Disrespect from long before the drama regarding him erupted. This was XQC's response.
Hassan's editor, if you want to make this comparison, okay, now answer this question. Who went to a Diddy party? Don't. Hey, don't escape. Can't walk on this. Don't.
Whoa, time out. I didn't know Hassan's been to a Diddy party? What? That's just news to me. I didn't know that Hassan's been to a Diddy party before.
Don't escape. It's a question. Who went to a Diddy party? Who went to a Diddy party? Answer that.
But it wasn't just the people who thought Hassan was doing something bad to his dog who were speaking out. For example, when fellow streamer Pokimane was asked about the participation of Hassan on her podcast that was going to come out soon, she remained pretty neutral on it, declining to make any specific comment and suggesting it wasn't really up to her how that would go down. Funnily enough, at the same time, Dexerto published news that the episode of the podcast with Hassan wouldn't be going up, which Poki herself responded to. The episode was supposed to air as usual, but staff refused to upload it out of fear it'd cause drama, and also posted this statement without my approval. Sorry guys, we'll talk about everything on this week's episode and go on a hiatus afterwards to restructure. As people who saw this pointed out, most likely someone was getting fired by Pokimane for trying to manage the situation with Hassan.
God forbid somebody on Pokimane's staff is actually trying to protect her name in a way. Unfortunately, I mean, honestly, good that they're getting fired, because then Pokimane's going to go down, you know? I don't know. I'm not a big streamer. At the end of the day, I'm not a big streamer. I have milquetoast opinions, and y'all, I have milquetoast opinions that I want to tell my community, and that's basically the most.
He wasn't the only one,
you know. Going back to the Amazon, by the way, I want to go back to this. Going back to that selling stock on Amazon, I had something to say about that. Listen, the Hassan drama, and then right after the Hassan drama, the catastrophe of TwitchCon. Like, I'm serious about sell your stock at if you own Amazon stock, sell it right now, because like the fact that Hassan, like the Hassan drama. And then right after that, the TwitchCon shit, the shit that went down at TwitchCon, there was multiple sexual assaults. There was multiple sexual assaults. There was people getting roofied. Like, I mean, yeah, it's the con's been bad for a couple of years, but like with that, like all of that, if you're an investor and you have if you have a shit ton of stock in Amazon and you see that Twitch is part of Amazon, right? At the end of the day, if you look at Twitch, you have to think about Twitch as Amazon, right? If you are looking at these things and you're seeing all of this catastrophe and you're an investor, if I was an investor and I saw these things, I would be selling my stock, because I don't want to be associated with those kinds of things, right? Just saying, if you have stock in Amazon, you might want to sell it, because in the near future, it's probably, if it's not going down now, it's probably going to start going
to step
down
up on
soon.
his behalf either, as fellow streamer Valkyrae was even more vocal about it, going on a rant about how people should be more concerned about,
you guessed it,
Israel and Palestine.
You would think that this kind of outrage, we would have seen it towards like the genocide and stuff, but you know, this priorities in this world are not where they should be.
The priority should not be Israel or Palestine. I'm gonna be real. The priorities in this world should not be Israel or Palestine. Let them all kill each other in the Middle East. Let them kill each other in the Middle East. As long as they're not coming over here to America, it's not my problem.
I'm feeling a migraine start to come on from imagining what it must be like inside these people's minds. I genuinely don't know if they just bring the topic up as an excuse to not pay attention to their own problems, or if they do actually spend every waking hour thinking about Israel. Now, when this attempt at distracting everyone didn't go her way, her tone slowly changed, as she went on to say that she should have done more to decouple the two topics, adding that she even messaged Asmongold for advice.
First of all, I do want to apologize to my mods. I think people are gonna be crazy in chat today. The last time
Who is this person? And does her dog have a shot collar on? Because and just like it has thought, I'm not saying this person has a shot collar on her dog, but I just noticed right here the dog in the corner of the screen, and I just want to know who is this person. I don't know who she is. And I want to know if she has a shot collar on her dog.
streamed, I talked about the Kaya situation.
I'm gonna be real. If I ever, I was going to go to TwitchCon this year. I'm glad I didn't. If I went to TwitchCon and I went up to these people, I would 100% be like, I don't know who you are. Who are you? Like, show me what your platform is. And these people would get really offended and really upset because I would be like, I have no idea who you are. I literally don't know who you are. I would probably make some funny clips because I would go up to people and be like, sorry, who are you? And they'd be somebody super big. Like, I would go up to Pokimane. I know what Pokimane is. I would probably still treat her like, who is this? Like, who are you? I don't know who you are. Because, like, at the end of the day, I don't know these people. I don't follow other people. I don't watch other people's content. I occasionally pop into other people's streams. I'll watch them for a little bit. I'll talk in their stream. But, like, I don't watch a lot of, I don't watch Logic content creators, one. And for two, when I do pop into streams, it's very, very rare. It's most of the people that I watch are people in my small orbit of people that I watch. So, like, I don't know people. So, I don't know who this person is. Does she have a shot collar on her dog?
But the way I addressed it made it seem like I was deflecting from the main topic while talking about other issues in the world, which I understand.
That don't matter. They don't matter. If you're in America, why do they matter to you? Like, they don't.
Now that I looked it back, I was like, oh yeah, that was probably not the best way to talk about it. So I think criticism is valid. Listen, I'm not perfect. I do think that I could have maybe separated those two topics a bit more because it's all in one clip and I get it. Like, I understand why people are being so mean to me, but you didn't say anything. It's not a matter of whether I said something right or wrong. It's just more so that the timing of it was not good. About LSF, I messaged Nick Pollum and I messaged Asmongold.
Who's Nick Pollum? I know who Asmongold is. Listen, I'm a World of Warcraft player. At the end of the day, if this is your first stream, I mostly do World of Warcraft, so I know who Asmongold is, because obviously he's part of the World of Warcraft community. At the end of the day, he will always be a World of Warcraft player at the end of the day. Even though he stopped playing World of Warcraft, and his house is still trash, and he's got the roaches crawling all over him, I still know who Asmongold is, okay? I don't know who the other guy is.
I asked both of them, I was like, hey, I don't really use Reddit a whole lot, but like, do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea if I respond to a post and be like, oh, I understand where you guys are coming from. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I should have definitely like spoken about it differently.
I don't know how she gets away with this, given how widely hated Asmongold is by people in Hassan's audience or people adjacent to it. I should say that she actually pulled out the "I was on my period tee-hee" card about 9 minutes into this clip, which is insane to me.
It probably wasn't the best idea to talk about such serious things after a 12-hour stream while sick with bronchitis, jet lagged, on my period.
I'm not a woman, so I guess I should ask you guys in the audience who are owners of a P word. Does getting your period cause you to have visions of Middle Eastern conflict when your friend is potentially shocking his dog? Does that...
Yes. Why, I do have a pussy, and I do have to say, when it's my time of the month, you know, I gotta start thinking about the many Middle Eastern people and how they're killing each other. No, I don't. No, I do not. I do not think about Israel or Palestine ever. I'm gonna be real, I never think about them because they're so far away. They're all the way over in the Middle East, and I'm over here in America. I have no reason to think about them. That's fucking funny. I can't believe. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. Yes, it's my period. Listen, we'll talk about it because there's no reason to. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. If I go mental and have a crash out, it's because I'm going mental and having a crash out. It's not because it's my time of the month.
Is that how it works? What's the hormonal basis for that phenomenon? Now, although the list of mostly female streamers who were on Hassan's side...
I only took health class, but I don't think that's how it works. I'm gonna be real. Listen, I get moody too. When it's my time of the month, I get moody. And, I'll be fucking aggressive and shit, but, I don't think about Palestine or Israel. This is the most I've talked about them in the last 3 years because I don't think about it. It's just not how it is, you know?
Kept growing, Hassan eventually decided it was time to speak for himself, posting a video called "You Are Being Lied To." In it, he says that Kaya does wear an electronic collar, but that it only has a vibrating function. However, he only goes over the original incident's clip, and another clip of him saying he bought a collar for his previous dog but didn't use it. He doesn't go over any of the other clips I showed earlier, which are far more damning and hard to explain. But the one good point that he does make here is that his insistence on keeping Kaya on her elevated bed is because she has joint issues, so he doesn't want her to lie on the ground. Now, personally, I don't think he'd straight up lie about this particular detail, and he especially doesn't seem like he's making this part up because I know some dogs, especially big ones, do end up suffering from these kinds of issues due to how heavy they get. He also says that Kaya does get hours outside and exercises frequently, which I'll just trust him to not be lying about, I guess. But
I want the proof. Show me videos of you walking your dog, Hassan. I want to see videos of you walking your dog, because I don't believe that you walk your dog, Hassan. I think you sit on your computer and you suck your dog when your dog gets out of the fucking shot, out of the screenshot. If it's out of the webcam, I gotta shot my dog. I don't think you're walking your dog. You're not taking care of your dog. You don't deserve a dog.
But still, it doesn't exactly explain why he needs to specifically keep her there for 4 hours straight, if not for the most commonly theorized explanation, which is that he likes her to be part of his streaming setup background like a big stuffed animal. It's not as if you can perfectly time when the dog is going to sleep. And
I'm gonna be real. If you want to have a decoration for your stream setup, why don't you just buy a stuffed animal? If you you don't have to get a dog, get a realistic stuffed plushy dog and stick it where Kaya's sleeping, right? That's a valid way of that's a valid way, you know? Even if it's only vibrate, why punish it for not being your damn prop? Let it roam around the house for a couple of hours. I agree, especially I don't know how long Hassan streams for, but assuming this Hassan streams for 8 hours a day. If you have your dog as a prop for 8 hours a day, that's not healthy for the dog. I don't know. I just think that if you really wanted a plushed out a dog, a pet. Who is Hassan, by the way? This is Hassan, by the way, chat. This guy right here is Hassan. He's one of the biggest Twitch streamers. The CEO Dan Clancy follows him and listens to his podcast. He has platformed terrorists, known terrorists. He's had known terrorists on his Twitch streams, and he's given them platforms. he has told America that they deserve. He has said on stream, and we'll play the clips after this. We'll play the clips. By the way, but he has said on stream that America deserves a second 9/11. And this guy is just a scummy dude that doesn't deserve a platform. The TLDR, Hassan does not deserve a platform.
And even if you could, their sleep schedule shouldn't be occupying the hours you're in the same room where they're trying to sleep, streaming with bright lights on, ranting and raving about Palestine or whatever he does for 4 hours straight. While this video came somewhat close to putting this issue to bed, it fell short in the most significant way possible. The actual collar, which Hassan claimed was only capable of producing vibrations. One of the first people to get on it and address his explanation was XQC.
There should be a white serial number that doesn't have a protruding, so it would be indented with some serial number or some sticker on the inside, right? But in the one shown on Hassan's stream, which is the same one, it has nothing. Why? Tape.
Once again, this discussion of Hassan manually removing the collar's prongs that produced the shock and taping over where they were brought yet another round of mostly female streamers coping on Hassan's behalf. And they were just as delusional as the first.
A new follower.
So thank you so much for the follow. Thank you so much for the follow, Sean. Like I agree. Like the black tape. I don't know if you guys saw the black tape.
Once
here.
again, this discovery where they were brought yet another
here.
round of mostly female streamers coping on Hassan's behalf. And
I think it's really funny that it's mostly female streamers coping and seething here. Like, I am a female streamer, and I am not coping, nor am I seething about this.
And they were just as delusional.
Thank you so much for the bits, by the way.
The taped photo is doctor, dude. You fell for misinfo. Congratulations, bro. This image, you can clearly see the tape. And when you look at the artifacting on these photos, it's very obviously a Photoshop job.
I saw someone who provided info of the collar when he showed it. He took out the contact points and put electrical tape over it. I watched the same clip. There's no tape. You can't.
Fake news! Fake news! Put them down! Put them all down! It's time to old yell at these bitches!
Not cut the prongs off of man, that's what I'm saying. The cope is so.
A few moments later.
The electric prongs are taken out of it.
But here's my thing, right?
Oh, I don't want to watch anymore of this.
Again, the only problem here is even if Hassan is innocent, they're wrong. You can remove the prongs with just one hand if you want to, because of course you can. Why wouldn't that be a possibility? Hassan himself was smart enough to pick a better strategy than to focus on those details, opting instead to claim that even though he showed Kaya's e-collar on his video about it, she didn't even have it on the day of the incident.
Third group of people are the ones who are like, look at this clip, look at that clip, look at this clip. Like, it's obvious he's moving his arms around. Like he's constantly in a state of zapping. They moved away from the initial conversation, which was that like she didn't even have that collar on to begin with. And the only reason why I showed the collar was because people were clipping other instances. First of all, are any of the collars illegal? No, even in the maximalist position.
It's interesting here that he acknowledges the other instance where it looks like Kaya got shocked, but deliberately opted to not include them in his video, almost as if he knew it would be harder for him to explain. I also don't know what he's talking about exactly. I assume he's making the same claim as that Reddit post that says she did have a collar on.
Well, you can see the collar right here. It's clearly a shock collar. We went over this earlier. There's the collar right there.
But it didn't have the little electronic box, which we already went over earlier. This is probably one of his best lines of defense, as it provides some reasonable doubt. If, in that one instance, it looked like Kaya was being shocked without it actually happening, then it's hypothetically possible that sometimes it really looks like he's shocking her without it being the case. Unfortunately for him, he didn't keep his story consistent, as for whatever reason, he switched up to talking about pressing the gate button.
Can we just move on, please? Because like the memes were funny in the first couple of days, but now the only people that still are like actively pushing it are people who are genuinely mentally ill, in the way that like anytime my arm moves around or like I unlock the gate, like I do have a button on my desk for the gate, right? And I unlock the gate, and obviously if you have a dog, you know this already, when they hear that the gate is unlocked, they perk up. They're like, oh my God, he shocked her again. You know, it's just, they are weird stalkers that are demonstrating their mental illness. And I think it's just, you know, it is what it is.
I have no idea why he thought it was smart to obfuscate this much and in this way. When he points to the gate button, it is literally in the opposite direction of where he looks every time it looks like Kaya gets shocked.
I think it's interesting that he thinks that anyone who is talking about this is mentally ill. I'm not. I mean, maybe I am mentally ill because I am streaming here and I'm talking about this and I'm turning this into content so I can progressively grow my following, you know. But also, like, I guess I don't know. I think that I'm always excited when a Turkey Tom video comes out at the end of the day too. Trash Panda, welcome to the stream, by the way. As a fellow pussy owner, I've got to ask, do you think about Israel and Pakistan anytime it's your time of the month? Because I know it's your time of the month and I'm not synced up with you anymore.
While researching this video, I didn't see anyone claim that that's where the remote for the e-collar was. So this just makes him look even more guilty and more desperate.
He's trying to control the chat, almost successful, but he pushed it too hard. I don't know. I mean, like, at the end, like, he is, like, but he did reach out to the wrong way to open the gate, right? The gate was on the right side and his shot color is on the left side.
Weeks following the incident, speculation ran wild as to what exactly the model of the e-collar was and what that remote we saw on stream corresponded to. And even I'm gonna admit it got a little bit schizo, as people were having to extrapolate from very little information. With that,
as a period user, do you think about Pakistan and Israel and Palestine, or Pakistan? Is it Palestine or Pakistan, chat? Do you think when it's your time of the month, do you think about the wars that are going on over the Middle East? Is that where your brain goes when it's your time of the month? I wanna double check here because I don't think about that. I don't think about Israel or Pakistan ever on a regular basis. But that's something that one of the girls defending Hassan here was using as an excuse on why she was defending Hassan.
that being said, eventually one specific brand and model came out on top.
It's amazing what people on the internet can do when you can deep dive and like you have time, this amount of time. When you have hours and hours to watch me chat, when you don't have $8 to subscribe to me. Like $8, chat, $8. I think it's really interesting that like people can just deep dive. They take a little picture or something and they can figure out the exact make and model of the shot color. That's absolutely insane. No, not necessarily on my period. Only when I hear about it in the news. Palestine versus Israel is what it is. Listen, I don't care. I'm gonna be real. I do not care about Israel, nor do I care about Palestine. Let them all kill each other off in the Middle East. It's not my problem because I don't live in that country. I live in America. Now, if I was in Israel, maybe I would feel differently, but I don't. I'm not in Israel, and I don't plan on ever going to Israel. So, like, or say with Palestine, I'm not from Palestine, nor do I ever plan on going to Palestine. So, like, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck about what other countries are doing, because at the end of the day, I'm a red-blooded American. I live in America. I care about what our country's doing.
The educator are.
The internet is unemployed, too much free time. I think it's impressive. It's really impressive. If you can take a picture of something and figure out like the exact location or the exact make and models and hide them, that's really impressive. Like, and I mean, you have a lot of time, but still.
Now, why was this one selected as the culprit behind Kaya's Yelps over all of the other ones? Well, that's because the actual company who makes them recognized it from the pictures of Hassan's stream. And
the actual company of the shot caller reached out and made a post and said
they actually said, that looks like the low to medium power RX90 receiver that comes with most of our units out of the box. It looks like someone cut off the contact points and put tape over it to maybe cover up any rough edges left for cutting, instead of just replacing the contact points with a comfort pad.
Based. This is the actual company based. Absolutely based of them.
If you want to be sure exactly which receiver it is, you will need to remove the tape. It already looked pretty bad, but this email from the company really put the nail in the coffin. By the way, just so we're clear here, I don't think the general sentiment that people are getting on Hassan's ass for is that all shot callers are inherently evil and should never be used. There are some justifiable use cases. The issue is that keeping your dog static.
My favorite is the defensive fan saying her paw got stuck in the bed. There's no... we watched the video earlier. Her paw never even touched
on its bed for 4 hours like it's a stream prop isn't one of those cases. Additionally, to counter any claims that pictures of the collar with tape over it are photoshopped, you can just look at the video Hassan himself posted and see exactly how much it looks like the one he removed the prongs and put tape over.
That definitely looks like tape to me, chat. Does this not look like electrical tape or something right here? This big square. I don't know if you guys can see my mouse with that.
When the
Can you
electrical
guys see
tape
my
became
mouse with that? You guys can't see my mouse. Hold on. You see it now? You can't see my mouse. Okay, that's interesting. That's new. He literally forces her to stay in this room, streaming room for hours as a prop. Yeah, like get a plushie. If you really want a fucking animal, like if you want an animal to look like it's sleeping on a bed, go buy a fucking plush animal. You know, like go buy a fucking stuffed animal and stick it on a bed, and then just be like, yeah, it's my dog. It's sleeping. Like that. You don't fucking put an actual living animal there. That's animal abuse. It's just
too
wrong.
hard to outright deny. The narrative then changed to claiming that he only put the tape there because supposedly his phone number was written under the tape and he only did it to conceal that. I guess with the explanation being that if Kaya somehow ran away and someone took off the collar, they would then see the phone number and be able to call him and tell him that they had his dog. But to
Yes, I will call you and tell you that I have your dog. I'm holding it as ransom. I have your dog that you are abusing, and I'm holding it as ransom now.
be honest, I see this as more goofy cope cooked up by people who are dead set on Hassan's innocence. Between Hassan's responses and the community's further investigations, there were some sideshows that were as ridiculous and asinine as it gets. For whatever reason, Mr. Ryan Beard, a prominent left
Hey, Walker, thank you so much for the 100 bits.
just bread tuber decided to pitch in, only to accidentally put his foot in his mouth by doing possibly one of the most tone-deaf things imaginable. Literally, while the drama around Hassan and Kaya was in the middle of unfolding, he made a video about the singer David, who I've already made a video on and the allegations regarding him. Now, obviously, the video that Ryan Beard made wasn't the issue itself, but
But then after he shocked her, he said, my mom spoils my dog too much. Like, what the fuck does that mean? That means that he is a narcissist and he only cares about using his dog as a prop.
instead, it's how he starts the video, seemingly taking a shot at Ethan Klein of H3H3 for allegedly having contributed to his dog's death by feeding it cheese. A comment underneath this video says, "A child died, a child who was most likely groomed and let down by every authority and body that should have protected her. And you chose her death to take a pot shot at internet creators? You're defending yourself by saying this is comedy. Is a child's death comedy fodder? You end this with a joke about a dog who shit its brains out and died. You want to equate that already flawed logic to her case? Internet beef is not the same as a child who was most likely groomed, likely murdered before being dismembered and abandoned in a car to decompose and disappear. It's not a punchline or an underlining message to link to creators and their dogs. It's a life, and one you clearly don't care about."
That's
now,
crazy.
although I'm not going to get into too many of the details here because it's just kind of outside the relevance of this particular video, it is relevant to say that Ethan himself was the one who spoke out about how he regretted feeding his dog cheese, and
Damn, Ethan Klein, you bless yourself. Go. I didn't realize you shaved
how
your
he
entire
did so
fucking
not
head.
just because of ignorance,
You look better with the curly hair.
but
I'm
also
gonna be
because
real.
the veterinarian whom he took the dog to happened to not take issue with the cheese in his diet. As far as I can tell, this is a far cry
Wait, what's going on, Trash Panda?
from the situation with Hassan, where, much like the cheese situation, it's not necessarily that what he's doing is the most evil thing ever, but it's also that he's
This fucking dog dies from cheese? H3H3 apparently fed his dog cheese and killed his dog, I guess. I don't know. It's an alleged. That's an alleged.
seems to be compulsively lying about it and scrambling for excuses, when he could, like Ethan, just acknowledge that he screwed up and possibly contributed to his dog's suffering. I
guess that's what he did. How the fuck does that happen? Don't feed your dog cheese. Maybe that's what it is. I
genuinely don't
know.
care for either side in the grander scheme of Ethan versus Hassan and that whole crusade. But if there is one thing I know about it, it's that even if you really like one of these content creators, unless you have a lot to gain, you should probably just stay away from this drama altogether. Now, their drama has layers upon layers that are impossible to fully understand unless you obsess over minute details and have autism. But ultimately, Ethan and Hassan used to be friends, which adds another coating of mess onto all of it. Simply put,
It's crazy. You know, I don't like either of these creators. I'm gonna be real. I don't like Hassan. I think that Hassan is a traitor to the American. He's an American and he's a traitor. I think that he's a traitor and he should be treated like a traitor. H3, I just don't like I don't like his content, but I don't even watch his content enough to even have an opinion on it. Just because, he has some very milquetoast content, and I just don't like his content.
This is their beef, and it shouldn't be inherited by anyone, even if you disagree with one side over the other. Ryan Beard himself seemed to understand this, as when he announced he canceled his video on the H3 and Hassan drama, he said this: "Hey everyone, so I've decided to walk away from making a video about Ethan and Hassan. When I announced that I was working on a video trying to give a level-headed perspective on the situation, critiquing everyone involved, I didn't expect that I would be threatened by Hassan and attacked by the H3 snark subreddit for weeks and get a bunch of threats in my DMs. I've kind of realized that everyone on the internet is super entrenched in their opinions on this stupid drama war, and no one is really interested in hearing me try to give nuanced takes on it, and I just want to move on and do my own thing." This was the smart way out, but unfortunately it seems like Ryan forgot about this policy and decided to go back to getting involved. After posting the video containing the jokes about Ethan's dog, he left a public comment saying this: "Yes, Ethan's dog died of kidney disease, and Ethan said himself on his podcast that the high sodium content in cheese can lead to kidney disease if you feed too much of it to small dogs."
Well, there's your answer on how H3 killed this dog, I guess. Thanks for giving us that answer. It was a little late, but I guess we know why, how H3 managed to kill his dog by feeding it cheese.
And he wishes he would have done that research ahead of time. I didn't claim with 100% certainty that feeding the cheese is definitely what killed his dog. Maybe the kidney disease was unrelated to the cheese. I made a subtle jab at Ethan because I do think he deserves to be made fun of for his negligent treatment of his dog. It's your
He literally overdosed his dog, I guess. Listen, but the dog is a small dog, and cheese has a high sodium take. So, the dog had, just like me in real life, suffering from kidney stones. His dog also suffered from kidney stones, but to the point where his kidneys failed. Or I don't know what gender the dog is, but I assume the dog died from kidney failure here, I guess. I don't know.
Responsibility as a pet owner to properly research what is and isn't healthy to feed your dog. You all need to take the L and back down, because it is obviously bad that Ethan didn't do the proper research in crafting his dog's diet.
I'm just saying, if you are a content creator and you have 1 million pets, you need to take care of your pets. Yeah, but she literally overfed your cheese to the dog. Yeah, Ethan, do you think Ethan forcing the dog to eat the cheese or what? Also, keep in mind that they are bringing up this is out of nowhere to distract Hassan's scandal. Yeah, listen, Hassan's scandal is already blown over. It's over. There's bringing this up now is already too late. At the end of the day, if you still have stock in Amazon, it's a bad look for Twitch. Twitch is a bad look for Amazon at the end of the day. So sell your stock in Amazon if you want to keep it up, A fortune signal to distract from your shittiness status.
And to be clear, yes. I also made fun of Hassan in the song by referencing how he potentially shocks his dog. And based on the evidence available, I think it seems like he does. To me, it seems like both Hassan and Ethan are bad dog owners. And if you're super offended that I made fun of both of them, you can cope and seethe. It's somewhat hard to understand the rationale and motivation behind the decision to approach the situation like this. I'm sure part of it is he's still trying to do his original idea of presenting himself as an impartial observer of the H3 versus Hassan drama, but the thing is, Ethan's dog died about 2 years ago, yet it was the first thing that came to Ryan's mind when people started talking about Hassan potentially shocking Kaya. This suggests
I just think that both these people don't deserve to have animals at this point. This is just a sign that you don't deserve an animal. Somebody needs to go in there and take your dog away.
That despite acknowledging Hassan probably shocked his dog, he still wants to soften the backlash Hassan is getting for it by bringing up how Ethan may have contributed to his dog dying 2 years ago. I'm honestly changing my mind about Valkyrie's period excuse from earlier. That makes a lot more sense than this. I don't know if this is him trying to win over some straggling ex-Hassan fans or what, but clearly it wasn't the brightest idea. Soon after, Ethan posted a DM exchange with Ryan, where Ryan can be seen doubling down on his attempted explanation for why he joked about Ethan's dog in a video about David, which Ethan captions with the following: "Ryan Beard thinks it's funny and reasonable to make me relitigate the most heartbreaking and painful loss of my first dog, Shredder. He thinks
what's scary is that Ethan has kids. That's actually, listen, It's almost Halloween. That's some scary information I don't need to know or talk about
It
right
belongs
now.
in the same video about someone murdering a child and stuffing them in the trunk. I really don't understand how the impulse to run defense for Hassan runs so deep that it becomes self-destructive. I mean, another person who got caught up in this was Sasha Grey, whose clip I played earlier of her clicking off as soon as she heard someone explaining how the prongs were detached from the shock collar and taped over.
Oh.
I don't want to watch any more of this.
According to Dan Saltman, she began handing out DMCA notices to whoever posted clips of her stream, highlighting how willfully blind she was to any evidence that Hassan may have shocked Kaya. However,
Listen, if I get DMCA'd about this, I get DMCA'd about it. It's freedom of speech at the end of the day.
more concerning than individual people sweeping for Hassan are the claims that the platform of Twitch itself was also running defense for him, with the main claims
It is. It is. Listen, and it's not because Twitch has a choice. It's because Dan Classy listens to Hassan's podcast and is an avid follower of Hassan. It's not Twitch's fault. Unfortunately, Twitch has to bend its will over because of the CEO. This is why I think Dan Classy needs to step down.
being that they ban or time out people for bringing up the situation. We're going to get back to the Twitch staff pretty soon because after a brief reprieve from the Kaya situation, Hassan went right back to reacting to it in ways that only made it far worse for him. Granted, he started very small by simply showing Kaya sleeping in his office as if it were proof that everything he said up until this point was true. I genuinely think that if he just kept up this strategy of downplaying it and just moving away from it, most people would eventually let it go. But then he made the mistake of reigniting the situation by giving an interview to TMZ.
That's crazy. He gave an interview
I honestly
to TMZ.
don't think it's worth going over.
Did he lie about the shot caller? Did he lie about the shot caller? Deny shocking dog on live stream? Says he's getting threats of dog napping and death.
Over the specific contents of the interview because it's mostly just more of what he'd already said in the first video about it, which makes it that much more pointless for him to go back to talking about the incident. At this point though, I think he was just irrationally malding about it, and it was even showing up in his regular streams.
There's a reason why there aren't that many like left figures out there, because when there are left figures out there, they get destroyed. Meanwhile, right-wing figures are literally doing rapes, okay? They're doing rapes and nothing matters. On the right, it don't matter. This isn't to say that like there shouldn't be a limit, you know what I mean? I'm just saying be a little bit more, exercise a little bit more critical thought. Maybe have a dog and it not be a part of your persona if you don't want to question when you're evasive. You're no different than the GOP. You're a
Nice. I don't know what this AC Sandwich guy is, but absolutely based.
40-month subscriber and you think I'm like the grand old party because I won't just sit there and be like, you guys are right, I'm actually abusive to my dog. This is unironically what I was talking about. Like, please exercise a little bit of critical thinking. And
Critical thinking is maybe you shouldn't have a dog if you want to just use your dog as a fucking stream prop.
I think you will realize that maybe you're not behaving correctly about this.
For one thing, he really shouldn't be engaging with his subs like that for his own sanity's sake. That's just really bad streaming form in general. Secondly, what is he even saying when he says right-wing figures are doing rapes? That's such a stilted and out of nowhere thing to say, especially given the context being about something else entirely. Once again, it looks like he's attempting to politicize the situation and make it about something else besides the dog-shocking allegations. But this wasn't even the worst moment, as he
He's referring to allegations against another streamer's dad, slander his default deflection. That's fair. Like, listen, I don't know. I think that he is definitely pushing it. He's like, if he just dropped it, it would probably, like, it's already, most of it's already blown up for. At the end of the day, Hassan is going to continue to stream on Twitch because he has Twitch's backing at the end of the day, right? So, like, Twitch is backing him up and running defense for him. There's no way that he's going to be deplatformed, unfortunately, over this. But I can still tell the small community of streamers and viewers about how my opinions on this, and that's what I'm going to do.
He continued
here.
crashing out regularly since then, giving his audience a pretty good impression of Deller.
Please shut the up about Grand Platinum right now, okay? You can be as annoying as you want to when we get to it, okay? Please shut the up about Grand Platinum. I want to Brian kill me. I can't stand any of you dumb. I hate the left. I hate liberalism. I hate everything that's going on. I hate my life. I am black-pilled. Nothing will ever get better. We are never going to make it out. We can't even have a normal, non-hostile goddamn conversation on any of these issues. I just want to go away. If I wasn't so goddamn stubborn, I would have a long time ago.
It's fascinating that he says this live on stream. Whenever there's drama with Hassan, he backpedals and pushes other shit to try to
Oh my lord, dude. The most annoying people are literally like the 40-month subscribers. The people that actually brick me, the people that actually cause me to spiral out of control are always the people that have been in this community for years, who never shut the
What he fails to realize is that he built this audience brick by brick, and like Dr. Frankenstein, he's in fear of the monster he's created. Ironically, this is something that happened to his current arch nemesis, Ethan Klein, who cozied up to the BreadTube audience only to get eaten alive once the tides turned. Now, it's Hassan's turn to face the music from his audience of scrutinous zealots who will pick at him until he goes insane.
I will not be building a community for political because it's a bread toast, like, the politics is bread toast, you know, it's a bread toast that I take. I don't care about it. I don't give a fuck about my politics. I do go and vote. I'm proud, listen, I'm a proud red-blooded American at the end of the day. And I keep saying at the end of the day, I keep catching myself saying it, but I'm a proud red-blooded American. I do go and vote. I do, like, I do, like, I don't know. I'm a proud American at the end of, stop saying it. At the end of the day, I said it again. Okay. I am a proud American. I do go and vote. For the president, you want to know who I voted for, chat? I voted for myself. As a president, I voted for myself, and my vice president was my fee. I wrote it down. I can't show the poll because it would be, voted for odd if I showed the poll. But that's who I voted for, chat. I voted for myself as the president, and my vice president was the feet. My feet were running as vice president. At the end of the day, no, stop, no. At the end of the day, well, I'm gonna get that put out a t-shirt. It's gonna say, "Good morning, Vietnam" at the top. It's gonna say, "At the end of the day."
Around the same time this was going on, he made some tweet talking about how the Department of Homeland Security and cops kill a lot of dogs. Again, I have no clue as to what this is supposed to prove or what he's trying to say. He ends his tweet with, "They don't care about animals," which makes me think he's talking about his political opponents, which doesn't really add up with what he was saying on stream about how his longtime subs were the ones giving him the most grief about the Kaya situation. The reality is, whether Hassan shocked Kaya or not has nothing to do with politics. And the same people chewing Hassan alive would be chewing Asmongold alive too if he was the one electrocuting his.
Listen, I think that the people that are chewing either one of these people out would also chew anybody out. Raise the feet, yes. I think that if you are shocking your dog because you want your dog to be a prop, you shouldn't have that dog. You should consider either not having the dog, or maybe you shouldn't have like stream with the dog, you know?
So I don't know why he did this next thing, but he did a stream.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this? Oh my god,
where he was attending a protest with what looked to be a bulletproof vest with Kaya. I know.
Honestly, Twitch has had a bad 2 weeks. Twitch has not been doing well. Like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, sell your stock in Amazon, because if you have stock in Amazon, sell it out because it's going to go down, because Twitch has had 2 bad weeks in a row. And it's not good. It's not looking good. The only one besides Kaya who's shocked that people dislike animal abuse is Hassan. Yeah.
I know that everyone was asking him to stop keeping her inside and take her on walks, but is a protest really the right place to do that?
I think that it's funny that he took his dog to a walk, and the place he thought it was a good idea to take his dog for a walk was fucking protest, where he's wearing a bulletproof vest. Why do you think he's wearing a bulletproof vest? Do you think this has anything to do with
wearing a bulletproof vest, which clearly suggests that it's some kind of dangerous thing to do. Fortunately, nothing bad happened there, but I'm almost frustrated with how easily he makes it for people to dunk on him. One of the late adopters of the Hassan pylon was none other than his former associate, Ludwig, who went on to address the situation.
Do I think Hassan shocks his dog? I have no clue. I think he lied about having a shock collar. I think he 100% had a shock collar based off what's on my For You page. Maybe I'm getting psyoped. He's adamant that he hasn't shocked her.
Ludwig.
But that 100% is a shock collar, as a fact. I feel like it is 100% a shock collar. but I got no clue.
This was kind of surprising to a lot of people who, because of their previous friendly relationship, assumed that Ludwig would hold the line and defend him, only for Ludwig to break formation with the rest of Hassan's fellow Twitch streamers' defense force and wave himself out. Even though he didn't really say anything crazy here, the response he got was violently negative. As we can see here, it's not Hassan himself that makes the calls to pressure people to not criticize him. It's the fan base of rabid followers who aggressively police the behavior of every single streamer who even vaguely says anything remotely negative about Hassan. Now, to add to the enormous dumpster fire that all of this had been for Twitch for the weeks that it lasted, it was capped off with a very bad, although completely unrelated situation that happened at TwitchCon.
Even Turkey Todd is telling you to sell your stock in Amazon right now.
Streamer Emiru was essentially assaulted by a stalker while the staff at TwitchCon were clueless and basically let it happen.
I don't know if you guys know about this. I talked about this in a recent stream where Emiru fucking I talked about how I'm glad I didn't go to this. It was like a 10-minute rant and I just crashed out about it and how I felt like I didn't have the words to word it out. But yeah, there is more with Emiru. Yeah, the fact that Twitch the guy that assaulted her got a 30-day ban on Twitch. But then Twitch also refused to give his name and contact information to the police department, and that is a lot more drama than this, yeah. So the fact that her security was banned from the con, so she hired a security guard, and TwitchCon said, no, you can't have him because last year he stopped somebody and he touched the person, right? By stopping them, he put his hands, the security guard put his hands on him and grabbed the guy, right? He didn't do it aggressively, he just directed him. It's an alleged assault. Oh yeah, it's ATMZ's article on Emiru's side alleged assault. It wasn't an I don't know. I know that it's bullshit and it's a lot of drama and it's not.
The general public has picked up on the sense that Twitch only really takes care of the few streamers it's partial to, who are made immune to everything, while everyone else has to fend for themselves. Honestly, I could make an entire 3-hour-long video if I wanted to about all the problems people have with Twitch, especially when it comes to favoritism towards certain streamers, but it's safe to say that the Hassan situation taking place in such close proximity to the Emiru incident definitely added to the negative perception of the company. It also didn't help that r/livestream fails got this clip from Hassan's stream where his office and chair is completely empty as his stream is rolling and Emiru's video about the assault is playing. I know that he probably came back at some point to give it proper reaction and commentary, but still, he's done so much to earn people's distrust and anger that unless he changes the mission objective of his streaming, I think he's just gonna keep being the subject of this kind of mockery literally forever. Anyhow, hope you enjoyed the video. I've been Tom, thanks for watching, and until next time, leave me alone.
Not be leaving you alone, Turkey Tom. I love your videos. Thank you so much for providing us with another video this week. I am so thrilled to be able to watch another Turkey Tom video on stream. I love Turkey Tom. If you guys haven't already, go watch Turkey Tom. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to do a subscribe here, subscribe right now. I am on all of the other platforms, so if you're watching on YouTube, I'm on Twitch, unfortunately, but I'm also on Kick. I'm on TikTok, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, but I'm going to see that now before I end this, so thanks for